Welcome to the Evening Review. My name is Oshikoto Region, and joining me in studio is Mr. Hewat Beukes and Mr. Oscar Shikongo, who will be addressing the issues around the Ondombe compound in Tsumeb. Welcome to the Evening Review, gentlemen.
Thank you for having me.
Just briefly, what is the issue around the compound as we stand out, and what is your interest in the matter? I'll start with you, Mr. Beukes.
Well, the issue is the illegal evictions that's taking place there. The condition of the legal position of the compound is that you cannot charge rent given the dilapidated condition of the compound. Secondly, the municipality is not carrying out, it stands in dereliction of duty as far as the legislation is concerned, in which it has to control the utility of the building. Thirdly, the compound does not belong to the claimed owner, and it is part of general corruption in Tsumeb.
And just for interest's sake, in what capacity are you speaking, and what is your interest in the matter?
I am a member of the TCL Pension Committee, TCL Mine Workers Pension Committee, who are seeking to recover their stolen pension fund, which was stolen by the management of the TCL in 1998. The estimated amount at that time was 200 million. And there is a pending procedure to recover the pension fund. And the pensions were used partly to fund the acquisition of assets of the Onkopolo Mining and Processing Limited, which is now in dispute, that the Ondombe hostel is part of that.
Your interest in the matter, Mr. Shikongo, and what is the involvement also specifically of the Affirmative Repositioning movement?
Our involvement of Affirmative Repositioning is Oshikoto Region. My name is Oscar, as a interim chairperson of Oshikoto Regions. We see this Ondombe as ongoing story. The matter was Tsumeb municipality and cabinet failed to solve in previous 5 years. The moment we step in this matter, we saw more than 300 homeless people was evicted illegally on the stolen properties. That the owner that is said is a current owner, but we knew it's not the rightful owners according to this history. You know, Tsumeb is a town that was begun by mine workers when Tsumeb was established. We know a lot of property in Tsumeb was owned by mines. And the transfer between a property from, we got before we step the matter, we're reading all the document. We never get a trust deed resolution to sell this property to the individuals. We never see any transaction for the previous owner. We just saw a deed of transfers. But that house number, when you inquire, when you investigate it, is belonging to Katima municipality, according to the court order. We saw a lot of corruption is here. Our main concern is homeless people that was evicted illegally on the stolen properties.
There are claims from the current landlord that tenants have refused to pay rental fees for several years, and that this is why the compound is in the state that it is. Should the tenants not be held responsible for this? Because the claim is that you've been living in this property and you're not maintaining it, and therefore of the upkeep of the building has not been up to standard, and therefore it is now in the you know, this claims from the landlord that you are not paying it, putting it back to the tenants to say that it's your fault that the building is in the state as it is. I'll start with you, Mr. Beukes.
No, it is inaccurate to say that the tenants refuse to pay rent. That's not what they said. The tenants had been collecting money and paid it to, besides the rent, they paid it to the landlord to improve the facilities, hygiene facilities and the general state of the compound for years, and he did not comply. But in 2016, they came to know, after we had investigated the ownership, that the compound was falsely claimed as ownership, as being owned by the so-called landlord. And what the tenants said, they said he had to provide proof of ownership, and he should renovate the building to living standards before they continue to pay. They did not refuse to pay. And in law, when you claim ownership, you must prove ownership. That means they had to provide resolution from the board of the Ongopolo Mining and Processing Limited to sell the property to them. Secondly, he had to provide a deed of sale. Thirdly, he had to provide a legal transfer from Ongopolo Mining and Processing Limited to himself. He could not provide any of those documents, and the community said, then we'll continue to pay. These are legal demands.
The other issue is, if toilets have never been built, how did the residents go about, and have you of the community reached out to the Tsumeb municipality or regional leadership to address this issue? Obviously looking at the issues of hygiene and
the municipality has been inundated with requests by the community. That is one of the problems. The Local Authorities Act gives sole power to the municipality to provide water and electricity. It cannot cede that power to a private person. It ceded that power to the so-called owner to cut off electricity as punishment for non-payment, and to cut off water and he bore holes in a municipal area. All these crimes, the police would not take up. And this is the entire situation. It is the entire lawlessness. And if you don't have law, the community is not protected. The community has certain rights. If they have a problem, if they are aggrieved, they can go to the necessary law enforcement agencies. They don't allow them that. The municipality is asked, enforce your building regulations. Here we sit with a building that does not have an approved plan. Here we sit with a building that does not have a compliance certificate. Enforce it. Up till now, they have not enforced it. The problem does not lie with the claimant to ownership. The problem lies with the municipality. It lies with the law enforcement, with the police, because the police directly involves itself in civil matters in Tsumeb. They enforce, and that is all the rural towns here. Namibia does not have law. The police can eject a person He gets paid and he ejects people from where there is a home in dispute. These are civil cases that should be settled in court, not by a policeman. And this is what's happening. The situation in Tsumeb is this, that public power, state power, has been put in the hands of individuals. And the reason for that is that there is a whole circle, a whole organization of corruption, of illegal properties that have been transferred and looted from while the mine was liquidated since 1998 and until the new mine took over. They established a bogus company which is operating as we speak since 2000. A bogus company which does not exist legally, but on the books it exists. And that is what they use to transfer properties, which was bought by GIPF funds of 40 million and 17 million of the mine workers pension fund. Those properties, all including that building, belongs to GIPF. And this is the problem also that you have in this country. There are scores of scams in this country in which GIPF money has been poured in and which does not get paid back.
Mr. Beukes, fair enough, but on the issue now of the compound, you as the affirmative repositioning movement, what effort have you made to engage with either the alleged or claimed owner to get the building up to standard, or the municipality?
Okay, as long as, according to information we have on the ground and our AL activist JJ, it took up the matter well since 2017 until June, where I was appointed. He transferred the matter regarding about Ondombe to me because I'm currently the chairperson of the owner. AL activists in Tsumeb, they try to engage the owners and they try to engage the line ministry, like Ministry of Ben and Rural, and also Tsumeb municipality. These people supposed to be evicted already in 2020. Then, together with a resident on Ondombe and our AL activist, we engage so that we can try to finding other solution, amicable solution, instead of evicting people. Even us as a movement, we were shocked. The moment Ministry of Safety appointing a new Inspector General, a new regional commander for the region, within 5 days in the office, we saw people was evicted. Even the regional commander, even Inspector General, he never consult. We have previous Inspector General, we have a previous regional commander that is trying to engage, but he never enforced this fake court order that was imposing to the people illegally. The regional commander and the Inspector General, they never engaged. They just enforcing the thing that was illegal. I don't know on what intention was. As a movement, we decided that we are going to stand with the people because it was injustice was not going on. Regarding about improving the properties, if the property don't have any plan, and approval municipality plans, how are we going to be? Even the municipality was falling apart. Then we tried to engage in the Tsumeb municipality to allocating lands for the people for other alternative. We shocked that Tsumeb municipality allocating only 47 plot. But on that Ondombe compound, you have 270 households. What about other remaining 230? Where are they going? They are going to still to be homeless? Because even ombudsman suppose, I just want to give an example. We have Katutura Central, the police station here. Ombudsman involved. That police station was not fit for human consumption. But we saw.
But you need to wrap up for me now because we need to go for commercial break.
Okay, regarding about the security, even that property is not fitting for human beings because their life of people are in danger. The building is just falling apart. That's why there's no solution of renovating they're supposed to starting at square one and funding back people's money that was collecting illegally.
Okay, Mr. Shikongo, we'll continue more on this part. But before we do, we'd quickly like to go for a short commercial break. Please do stay tuned.
I studied medicine.
I studied geology.
I studied the Bachelor of Science.
You start to heal people, touch patients, you touch lives, you save lives, you realize this is really what you want to do and you never get tired.
Having graduated from the University of Namibia, I was able to open my own law firm and help people attend to their legal problems.
Let's do the things that must be done and make it great.
If you want to do it, just do it.
That's what I wanted to do.
So the sky is the limit.
My UNAM, my pride.
I studied medicine.
I studied geology.
I studied the Bachelor of Science.
You start to heal people, touch patients, you touch lives, you save lives, you realize this is really what you want to do and you never get tired.
Having graduated from the University of Namibia, I was able to open my own law firm and help people attend to their legal problems.
Let's do the things that must be done and make it great.
If you want to do it, just do it.
That's what I wanted to do.
So the sky is the limit.
My UNAM, my pride.
Welcome back to the evening review. In your efforts as pensioners in the matter, what efforts are you going to be engaged in, sort of to correct what has been done in the past, Mr. Beukes, with regards now to the issue of the compound?
This issue is spiraling out, and more Namibians are becoming aware of the gigantic scam. It was extremely important for the AR to take leadership in this, because the opposition is reluctant to take up these issues. So for us, it's extremely important step forward. Nevertheless, we are rallying forces within the country to support the community there, and we are rallying them internationally to support. They've already acquired political support. The president have been petitioned by Unite the Union, which is a 1.4 million strong membership, strong union in Britain and in America, and in Brazil and Argentina are supporting, are aware of this. South African NUMSA has protested. So for us, the issue here are fundamental constitutional rights. The protection of the family, the question of dignity of the individual, and the protection of small children and so on, and the rule of law, because there is no rule of law, and this is Article 1. As I've mentioned before, the people were evicted without order of court. The warrants of ejectment which the deputy sheriff drew up were actually mockeries. The warrants were prepared 2 weeks before the purported order of court was granted. That is what the warrant says, but there is no order of court. So when that was pointed out, they left out the evictions, and the deputy sheriff wrote notices of ejectment, which meant he became the court, he became the law enforcement, he became the police, and he became the army. And what is more is that the institution, the Tsumeb municipality, who had to conclusively investigate this matter, did not do it. They simply do not answer about the occupancy of the building. They do not answer about the fact that the building does not have an approved plan, that the building was not inspected, that no person in his right mind can look at a monstrosity like that and say it is a building that can be given an occupancy. These are the things, but it boils right down to the question of the dignity of the Namibian people. And we are right back to where we were. And police are being used to abuse families, including small children, school-going children, and babies have to have to be subjected to this kind of violence.
Mr. Shikongo, from your end, excuse me, how would you like to see this whole matter being settled? As AR, what are you willing to do to see to it that this comes to a logical conclusion?
This coming to as affirmative reposition leadership in Oshikoto Region, we want this thing to be concluded in good way, where 500 residents of Ondombe that are renting there, they are not going to be robbed day and night by pre-owned owners. And we want also this eviction to be put aside because people are appealing in the Supreme Court, but they should be, the evicted people should be taken back to the property until Supreme Court pronounces the matter in the way forward. Because we are already approaching rain season, we have young ones that are writing external examinations. They don't have water, they don't have electricity. Tsumeb municipality failed even to provide even single water tank to evicted. And also we concerned about rain season that we approach. And the tent that was provided by military bases for Tavi, and Fruitfontein is not enough. Because we are expecting other huge number of people, more than 400 people again, to be evicted this coming, illegally evicted this coming Fridays. That's why we want this eviction to be put aside, and the owner should go back to, and the evicted people should go back to the compound until the Supreme Court pronounces them themselves, who is currently owner of this old hostel, well known as Ondombe.
Any concluding remarks from your side, Mr. Beukes? In short.
It is actually a short question. The municipality, if there are certain disputes, and it's within the ambit of the municipality's jurisdiction, it's quite easy to stage a public inquiry and to ascertain the allegations that are being made from both sides. If they do that, then the decision that can be made, is made on pure fact. And it will take a week or two to establish the truth. At the moment they've closed the BIPA, the Registrar of Companies' files, because we got information out of there about the scale of corruption. So if the municipality carries out its duty, its statutory duty, laws that have been made by Parliament, if it carries out that, this problem is over in a week or two. And if the people are found to have not paid unlawfully, then they will pay. If it's found that they have been paying and they've been made to, money has been extorted from them from 2002, then the owners, the false owners of that building must pay back that money. It's easy, but they make it difficult because they want to oppress the Namibian people.
From your side, Mr. Shikongo?
Actually, on our side, on our conclusion, we just want to call upon the Tsumeb municipality leadership and the Ministry of Rural and Urban Development, especially to the Ministry of Urban, to put his political aside, Congress aside. I know he's focusing, we're trying to reach him. He was not in office since last week. We say he must leave their campaigning strategy and focusing to the main issues for the people to go back to the compounds and approve more even to the resident of Ondombe. That is just our conclusion, because we saw people are focusing in the petty issues, political issue, while the major people are suffering on the ground. Therefore, Tsumeb municipality, this thing was overdue. Since negotiations starting 2017 until now, there's no solution was found. We call upon to the Tsumeb municipality in the line of ministry to find a solution so that our Namibian resident should be not suffer, should be enjoying the privilege that there's a human rights for them to have a shelter. Now they are homeless because of the ministry they don't know, and the municipality they don't want to taking action because they are protecting other corrupt capitalist community that are stolen illegal property that was belonging to the mines.
Thank you very much for joining us on the Evening Review, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a good evening.